Hope everyone's doing well. Another video. We are joined with...
Me, Josh Jenkins.
From joshjenkins.1.
from joshjenkins.1.
Basically, today's video, for me, it is going to be a pull and delt session. Believe it or not, for Josh, it's also going to be...
A pull and delt session.
Exactly
the same video we did last time,
exact same video, yeah, exact same video. However, a bit of a difference. We've got Sam filming, Josh is leaner. Yeah. I'm post-prep. Post-holiday. This is the second session back for me. I'm not really going to talk too much about myself, but I probably will talk a little bit about myself in case everyone's interested. Because everyone's interested. I mean, the channel's Reece Fit, so it's not...
You've got 105k.
110k followers now, so thanks guys for following. Anyway, current situation for me, I'm going to do a reel just having a bit of a chat regarding where I'm at. But I got back from Lanzarote 2 days ago. We've had one session. I officially pretty much have started my gaining phase. Blood work is getting done within the next week. So it's right now a case of holidays ticked off, foundations are set, feel really good, training's in a really good spot, strength's in a really good position. So today's session is just going to be literally my usual pull and delt session, barbell bent rowing from the floor, which will be exciting. And then the most important thing, to be fair, as I mentioned when it comes to Josh, is obviously his current set point. He is halfway deep into prep and then halfway from the first show.
Yeah, 10.5 weeks in, 10.5 weeks out.
Which is quite cool. And he's 17-ish kilos down, which is pretty wild, 16 and a bit kilos. I was saying to Sanai when we were away, I was like, he's dropped 15 kilos in a very short amount of time, considering we haven't been that aggressive.
No, not at all.
But you feel good?
I've had 1 or 2 days, which are a bit slower. But aside from that, everything sound. Yeah,
and we've got plenty of tools still to play with, as we should do at this point. If you're halfway into prep and you've used all your tools, then congrats, bro. It's going to be it's going to be a good ending to the prep. But in all seriousness, we are in a really good spot. We are pretty much 10.5 weeks from the PCA first timers on the 24th of September. Yeah, and then it'll be a case where we've got a few shows in the middle of that.
Few maybes.
We pretty much got a few shows in the middle of that show, and then likewise for the PCA finals if Josh qualifies. Josh will qualify for the finals.
Might not.
I'd be very surprised if Josh doesn't qualify for the finals. So basically, guys, what we're doing is going to be a men's physique for the first kind of show 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how it goes.
5.
Yeah, and then maybe drop into classic. Josh is young. He's young in this game. This is his first prep. He's doing a first time show, obviously. So there's no need for us to be kind of rushing ahead. I think the long-term kind of destination for you will be to show your legs. And there'll be a lot of weight to play with when it comes to improvements, which will be quite exciting to look forward after this prep. But that'll be something that we can talk about in the future. Like I said, today's video is going to be going through a little bit of an update about me, training, more so about Josh, some reels. Pay attention to Josh's Instagram, joshjenkins.1. And let's get into it. It's weird. I think both feel like...
What about that?
No chance. Too wide. Nah, no, too wide. That would be for a lat.
No, but for you, that actually might be all right.
Okay. I'll go for the close grip, I reckon. Yeah, close grip.
I'll probably do the same.
Yeah, it's going to be similar. Because ideally, if you think about the bent row after, that's going to be more with that sort of pronated grip. Right, guys, so first movement, we are doing the Life Fitness pin-loaded seated row. Last time that I did this was in Liverpool with Josh at about fucking 5 a.m. It was an awful session. Good session for me, awful session for Josh. We got up early, it was before the FitX with CSM, so we had to train before starting. I didn't even have to get there, but Josh, because he's employed by them, I'm just a sponsored athlete. Reece Fit.
You weren't even by then?
No, I wasn't. I was sponsored by I was cheating on Sup's house. So yeah, I was cheating. But basically, we had to get up early. So we did this row at a stupid, silly time. I think I deadlifted 270 kilos, just fasted or something.
And it fell off.
It was vile, and the plates fell off. It was just an awful experience. So luckily, we're actually fed. I am. Josh isn't. Josh is in the trenches.
Very underfed.
Yeah, just so lean. So yeah, plain loaded row, 2 sets here. Usually for the session, I start off with something single arm in a horizontal plane. Just from a time efficiency standpoint, we're going to be doing dual arm. Hips intentionally further back. Pretty much feet, and likewise, let's say feet pressed out in front of us to create stability, and just trying to really, if anything, drive the elbow into our hip and get the most amount of lat bias possible. Some scapular movement, but we're not trying to really overly bias the scap coming forward and back. That'll be where we do the yeah buddy row from the floor, which Josh didn't want to do. He said he wanted to do a T-bar row, and it's why not bend over? Why not yeah buddy row?
I haven't done a yeah buddy row in
Josh
ages.
is doing some yeah buddy rows. So yeah buddy dead stop row. So a YB DSBB row. God, my brain's working quick. You can tell I'm eating. pretty humid in here. Like during the set, I was like, oh God, gassing a bit. So 2 sets there, no pause in the second set. Alpha Neon Boss Man doesn't like gym pins, says they break machines. To be fair, I do agree, they do. So basically, 2 sets on the stack. First set, pause and contraction, makes sense, fresh. Second set, no pause and contraction, makes sense, not as fresh, and also kind of modulates the intensity based off the overall demand with the pauses. So yeah, for Josh, he just didn't really do a pause at any of his for the first set.
It wasn't that bad.
It's questionable pauses. So yeah, for Josh, probably a few pins off the stack, and that'll be the first exercise, that horizontal challenge, which to be fair, we both need more of. So yeah. Because basically, we're both just shit men's physique guys. Josh will be probably pretty good for a junior, but then when he steps up into the adults,
water the floor.
He'll just get ruined.
All I need is someone who's just skinnier than me and got a bit of glaze on, I'll lose straight away. That's obviously you, isn't it?
No, just get beat by a natty dude who looks like he's on Love Island.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
That's all they want, though.
Yeah. You got glaze, you got abs.
You don't have enough ear fit. If you had more earrings, you'd be fine.
More earrings needed. That's what it is. Sound? Might full send a shit set on 160.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, might as well. Let's see. Right, so, as mentioned in the last clip, BBDS. No, fuck. DSBB. Dead stop. I said it perfectly like 2 or 3 times.
DSBB BOR.
Anyway, basically a dead stop barbell bent over. Barbell bent over. Yeah, there we go. Again. No, we're carrying on. 2 sets here. I pretty much have had this in since like I came out of prep. I saw Dusty Hanshaw. I don't know if anybody knows Dusty Hanshaw. Do you know Dusty Hanshaw? No. Dusty Hanshaw, absolute legend. Doing like 4 plate bent rows from the floor, and I was like, yeah. And to be fair, I do need it. Like my erector thickness is not the best, it could be better. So this is the main movement of the session. I'm probably going to send a very shit set on 160, so Sam, please get a good angle. Please get a good angle, because this is not going to be the best form. But in reality for this is a movement where I think you can definitely overcomplicate it. It's a row, moving weight from point A to point B. If that can get progressively incremented in load, your back's probably going to get better. That being said, it's very, very easy just to shithouse a bent row. So there's a fine balance. With me, I'm almost being more aggressive with loading until it tells me to piss off. Probably this session, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna do 160. I've been working up 5 kilos a time every week, and I did 150 2 weeks ago, and I've deloaded in the last week. So basically, I'm just gonna send 160, see how it goes. Probably not gonna be the best, but then the back off set will be good. I'll do 3 plates, and that'll move well. So yeah, for Josh, it's the first time him bent rowing in.
Yeah, I'll give 130 a go,
while.
and then
so
see how that goes.
If it goes well, go a little bit heavier. If it doesn't go well, probably don't go heavier, and we'll go lighter. So yeah, simple. Just believe it or not. That's how 2 sets work. You just go heavy or lighter. That wasn't actually that shit. That wasn't great, but that really wasn't that bad.
It's a good thing you didn't have the camera here.
It wasn't that bad. Yours is going to be way worse.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, with less load. Whew. Like, that wasn't great, but that wasn't horrendous.
Your first was the worst.
Yeah, the first is always hard. The first you have to, because you have to get into it. You almost have to like deadlift it and then row. And then once you're into...
Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, once you're in, you're in. What was that, 4 reps?
Yeah.
4 on 1. 130, yeah?
Yeah.
Sound. I like the atmosphere here, aka no music, just vibes. No, genuinely, I actually like stuff like this. It's like just, you view the weight, you feel that you hear the weight, be one-on-one with the weight in the set. But no, in all seriousness, I actually do like it. It's reminiscent of like lockdown sessions. Obviously, not this good kit, but like bent rows, not much going on, just hearing some plates clang around. Oh, it just fills me with so much joy. God. But no, in all seriousness, that was sound. Not the best execution, it's not going to be, it's 160. Probably go back in that next week, tidy up a little bit, and then I'll be doing 4 plates on that sooner rather than later. And then hopefully my posterior chain is a little bit thicker and denser the next time I get lean. So yeah, 160 for me. I'll do 3 plates to the back off set, which was more than my top set when I had this in, when I put this back in, or put this in for the first time like 7 weeks ago. So yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Go on, Josh. Hips back. Slight dead stop to reset. Yeah, there we go. Easy. Easy, mate. Chest up. So eccentric. There we go. Yeah, lovely. Yep, and again. Eccentric. There we go, better. Yes. Yep, one more. Come on, brace hard. Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? It's not easy to be shit.
Yeah. That wasn't that bad though.
Fucking head hurts.
Yeah, it's demanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
This session for me, like this is the one movement that's like, it's the big one, you know?
Yeah, whereas this session for me, I'm done by now. What do you want on?
I'll do 3 plates.
Cool. How many sets, 2 or 3?
2, no chance of 3. 3 sets of this, fuck me, I'd be wiped out. This is brutal. So basically, this is the Cybex chest press, obviously, but it's like, it's not fixed. So when you're pressing, see how like they just move?
Yeah, we're over there, looks quite cool as well.
Yeah. You literally will feel like you've got Parkinson's when you're doing it because you're all over the place. It's nothing against people with Parkinson's.
But it looks like you do have it.
When you do it, you look like, and you feel like you've got Parkinson's.
There's nothing wrong with that, you just look like you're a bit...
A bit what, mate? Oh, Josh is cancelled. Josh is cancelled.
Yes, and again. Yep. Come on, one more.
Sound.
13?
Not sure. It was a good set though, happy with that.
Your phone didn't record?
They're not?
I recorded it though.
Nah, sound.
So kind.
Drop it, bro. Fucking hell. That is hard. How much like systemic challenge it, like you know, the brace, everything's like just has to be on. Do you want to do like a single arm cable row over there? Like seated?
Yeah.
Simple,
cool.
and then we'll do pullover.
What, just 1 set or 2 sets on it?
We'll do 2 sets of each. We've only done, I think, about 4 sets.
Yeah.
So we do 8 sets for pull. That'll be sound.
4 sets.
I know,
We've done so much more.
You can tell Josh is prepping now because he's done 4 sets and he's battered.
Yeah, I'm also just a moody bastard.
It's not that, it's the demand of the exercise. Like, it's a very challenging exercise. A regular bent row, not as challenging. A dead stop, BB row, a bit more challenging. So yeah, 2 sets there, load increments on both, double digits taken for the first time on 3 plates, which is good, expected at this point. And now we're going into, again, we're still doing horizontal movement, but pretty much just a single arm horizontal movement. Again, trying to bias a bit more lat. Everyone lower lat, thoracic sort of kind of, those thoracic fibers, ideally, if we're thinking about, we want a slightly upward trajectory with the elbow path in that horizontal plane. And then we're going to be doing a vertical challenge. We're going to go for the competition line pullover. I'm not a massive fan of pullovers with just the general feel upon where it is, like in relation to your shoulder girdle and for me mechanically. So if it feels horrendous, probably won't do it, but it looks all right, it looks decent. And because it's the last pull, probably should do 2 high rep sets. And then that'll be the bulk majority of the pull work done. We'll then do a few laterals, bit of vibes, bit of biceps, bit of triceps, and then rear delt movement. So yeah, this is, like, if anything, pretty like men's physique orientated session still. Like, I thought men's physique for me had died, like clearly. The show's not done, men's physique continues, it's not. But for Josh it is, so yeah. That's that. Crack on, bro, set it up. God,
you're fucking dying. A little bit of lat work here.
As mentioned in the previous clip, or I'm guessing the previous clip, we have pretty much a single arm row. You'll probably notice that I was saying to Josh, when it comes to his kind of like torso position, and likewise what we're trying to kind of aim towards, scapular push forward, shoulder blades push forward, pretty much just focus upon elbow. We want a slightly upward trajectory, which this kind of cable aligns quite well. So some lateral flexion occurring at the spine, so slight tilt into the side we're working. Elbow with a slightly upward trajectory to bias the thoracic fibers. And if anything, just trying to focus upon keeping that sort of torso position, and if anything, scapular position consistent, and the main mover being the elbow coming pretty much into kind of our side as we get the most out of the actual lat itself. So yeah, it's very easy, an exercise like this, to kind of throw the weight around, resulting in a lot of scapular traction and protraction. When your scapula's push forward, it pretty much will only challenge the lat in the ranges where we're trying to challenge it. So it kind of makes sense for what Josh has. And if we can notice here, he's pretty much failing within that kind of mid to lengthen range after the shorter range has already kind of been expended for what it's worth. So the shorter range at this point is pretty much done. He can't get any more out of it, but he's going to have a little bit more in that lengthen to mid-range. And at this point in the session, like getting what we can out of that range when the lats have a little bit of oomph there, kind of makes sense. So yeah, how your lats feeling?
Timed that really well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really, really good. It was segued perfectly. Josh actually didn't even fail. That was planned. I said to Josh, just make sure when I get to this point in the video, act like you're failing. But how do your lats feel after those 2 sets? Good?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty sound.
So not too bad, and that's the literally single arm movement. So 2 sets here. To be fair, I'm gonna say, like, how do you feel? Do you feel pretty, like, how does your back feel? Because I reckon for you, probably 1 set on that would be fine.
I could probably do another one.
If you want to do another, it's just we've got 2 sets of a pullover.
I'd do that.
I'd say you probably only need to do 2 more sets.
Yeah.
So either 2 here, 1 there, or 1 here, 2 there.
I'll do that. I haven't done that. I haven't done one of them in ages.
Well, what? So
I'll leave it out there. I'll do that there.
I'd say
because that was still like a good 17 reps each.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So your rep range is a bit higher than mine, so I thought it kind of makes sense. All good. All good, man. All good. Right, guys, so for that current situation, current update, post-holiday, we are currently seven weeks post-prep. I think that's 6 and a bit weeks. Current body weight, 101.5 kilos, so I lost a little bit of weight when I was away, kind of expected. I was doing a fair amount of steps. Expenditure was pretty high. Food was as structured as possible, but it was all-inclusive, so it was like a bit of a challenge trying to guesstimate, but either way, the holiday was really good. That's pretty much ended, like that post-prep sort of phase. The initial 5-6 weeks was just literally setting foundations, getting training into a good spot and building myself up. We are now actually trying to grow some muscle, I guess. So basically, food's been at the same baseline as what it has been for pretty much pre-holiday. However, it was going to be getting pushed up by Friday of this week. So food's been worked up, blood work is booked in, which will be getting ticked off within the next couple of days. And then it'll be a case of getting health markers, seeing where we're at. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all is good, which I imagine at this point they will be. It's been a good amount of time. And then it'll be a case of going into a push-up phase and actually not being as lean. I don't need to be as lean anymore. I've been lean for a long enough amount of time. So it's time to get a little bit soft, put on some strength, get performance up to numbers it's not been at before, and in general, grow some muscle. So yeah, exciting times to come. Really, really eager, excited, and I can't wait to make some improvements. So yeah, all good. Oh, fucking hell, ab cramp. Yeah. Yeah, those last 2, I was like, oh, that's brutal. Whew. That's vile.
It's all funny.
I got it in between like my top left ab. And to be fair, I don't really have any lower abs, so my only ab here on the left side. Whew. That's brutal. 1 set there, that's enough.
Yeah,
definitely that's enough, yeah. High rep set, few reps assisted. This machine is actually not that bad.
It got better as the set went on, didn't it? I think as you get more fatigue, it's better.
It's one of those where, when you think about the lat mechanics, it's actually like this sort of plane is almost perfect, but in nature, it just never feels amazing. But we're here thought we'd try a bit of like different kit out. This is the one joy about having just a bit of fun. So a few reps assisted. This machine's quite heavy in the short, and also we're tired, but it still feels pretty good in the length and to mid. Like it's not one where this makes mechanical sense, but it doesn't feel bad. So just one set here, that's the majority of the pull work wrapped up. A bit of rear delts to finish off the session. We're now gonna move into some laterals. Do you want to do as a machine, as dumbbells, what do you fancy?
I literally normally do a dumbbell then that exact machine.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's
go. So, a little bit of lateral work, side delt work, 2 sets of a dumbbell lateral raise. Again, I've said some videos before, like I connect well with dumbbell lateral raise. It's a very simple exercise. Side delts are fresh, so as the dumbbell, let's say, get progressively worked up, it's going to become more challenging just due to gravity and all that kind of jazz that Einstein made up, I think. So shout out Einstein. In all seriousness, it's a dumbbell lateral raise. So 2 sets there. We're now going on to the machine lateral raise. Going to do 1 to 2 sets depending on how it feels. This session for me, like I said, is mostly pull and a little bit of delt top at work, and then a bit of arms. I eventually am going to add in an arm day like every other week on the Monday for my current rotation. It's pretty much like right now, like an upper lower with one push bias upper session and 1 pull bias upper session. Today's obviously the pull bias session, but we're going to be adding in an arm day pretty much every other Monday. And then that'll eventually get to a point where that'll be added in once volume's been worked up, and the arm work at the back end of these sessions become, I'm not gonna say obsolete, but there's definitely a case where as performance goes up, as volume goes up, the accessories towards the latter end of a session can potentially just get they become a bit more like accessories. You're tired, both physically and mentally. So once I feel like I can't apply the same quality, that's when I'm gonna add the arm day. Not that I really need, like I definitely need more muscle on my arms, but I need more muscle everywhere. So it's not going to be where that's going to take up a massive majority of my focus, just a little bit of a top-up day. Do a bit of abs, because my abs are not the best. Maybe a bit of calves. Calves aren't bad, but calves can always be better. So yeah, that'll be the plan for pretty much how this session's kind of formatted. And the joy is, because I pay Sam for 2 videos a month, we're going to be walking through the whole process. So click subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I mean, yeah, I've got some followers on Instagram, so if you watch YouTube and not the Instagram, follow on Instagram, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, now time for a lateral raise, another one.
Go on. Yes.
What?
No, it's quite funny.
Well, no, it's a horrendous spot. Like, if you're spotting somebody and you're pressing the machine, pulling the machine away from them, they're obviously...
It's natural, I'm sorry. I do apologise, mate.
It's fine. Finn, please come back and actually give me a proper spot. That's actually quite a good point. No, I've not really spoken about that before. Spotting. Spot the actual area that needs to be spotted, not the machine. Because if you're doing a lateral raise, and as Josh demonstrated,
horrendously.
if you're pulling, like let's say Josh is doing the set and you're pulling
it does make sense, yeah.
Literally your muscle's going to switch off. Same as like on a leg extension or a ham curl. Like actually press through the area that you need the muscle to stay on, and through the like let's say for example on a leg extension, heels on a ham curl.
Heels.
Not heels, the ankle. The ankle, heel area, but ankles. Not just pushing the machine away from them, because the muscles switch off. So spot work effectively, guys, and therefore people
dumbbell press is different, I reckon.
No, it's elbows.
No, so I reckon like wrist is better, safer, in my opinion. Only because I had a dumbbell fall on my head though. Yeah, I think so. I'm biased.
I think that's your problem.
No, it wasn't my problem. I got like loads of views on TikTok for it.
Problem explains why he is the way he is. Link in bio for coaching. There's a reason why he's cheaper.
I see you with hair on your back.
Mate, do you want to know something mad? Basically...
No, I've genuinely never seen you have hair on you.
Sanaya's mentioned it as well.
Yeah.
Like, honestly...
But it's not like black, it's not thick hair, it's just fair.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? Yeah. Sanaya's mentioned it as well. I've actually started using testosterone now. What the fuck? No, I think I'm officially a man now.
Have you ever had like a snail trail?
No, I have hair on my side. It's just really faint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I think this is going to be such a weird topic for.
It's a new reel. It's a TikTok.
No, it's just a weird topic. Whenever I prep, my hair just dies. Like in the sense that I don't grow hair.
Your hair on the top of your head has been fine.
No, but I don't grow hair. Like it's like everything just dies for me. My last prep, mate, I didn't get any like leg hair for like 6 months after my prep. It's like my body just shuts down hair growth, and then afterwards, I think you get like you get like a superficial response. And so now when I was on holiday, she was like, "I've never seen you have hair on your back at all," and I've got like for the first time in my life actual bodily hair.
It's not like incredibly fair either. It's actually quite noticeable.
Yeah, no, I thought that the same.
Quite cool.
Yeah, I've never had hair. I'm not really a hairy person, but clearly now I'm actually a bloke. I'm a man. It's just took me 24 fucking years. Crazy. But yeah, you're not the first to mention it, mate. And then, that looks good, man. And then just, no, and then take this hand off. So imagine like you hit it, you walk out and then just like, I reckon you could easily. Or, if you need to reset, when you bring your hands across like that, and then you could just open up into that. Yeah. So, because you're going to be holding that front pose. You walk out, and they'll literally walk you out, and you hold that front pose.
10 to 15 seconds.
Maybe more than 15. Usually they're looking at numbers, writing it down. Like, I'd say 15 seconds is an understatement.
Numbers as in multiple. Hey, no one's doing that show anymore. Two have already pulled out.
No one's in it. Right.
We can't see. It's not that humorous anymore.
That's the video. Not too much to talk about. Really good session. Wicked place. Like I like the gym.
Yeah,
the
it's a bit different.
Is good in the sense of I quite like it's just weights and that's it.
Training.
Machines are sound. Have a bit of fun. Like literally, it's what training's about. Like there's plenty of times where we'll probably be over analytical regarding perfect exercise sequencing and everything, and it's just getting in, moving some weight, pushing yourself, getting a good pump, going through some posing, and then getting out. And like literally, that's what this session was about. It's been 7 and a bit weeks, 8 weeks since I last saw Josh, and we've made some big strides forward, which we should do. Like, if you imagine when I last saw Josh, he was a few weeks into prep.
Yeah.
We actually had a good period where we were going to see some Man City games, and we saw him like in the build-up to the prep. So the transition into prep was pretty good. We ran like pretty much like a pre-prep phase, didn't we? Of like building up routine, building up structure. So the day that prep started.
To be fair, that even basically started prep. So I lost about 2 kilos in that time, regardless. Anyway.
Yeah. Like, so we pretty much ran like a pre-prep build-up, and then prep officially began, but we were already kind of prepping. So in a sense, we've been prepping for a decent amount of time now, but at the same time, like we say prep, it's a fat loss phase because we're not into the latter end of the prep.
In my opinion, I don't count it as prep until it actually feels like one. At the moment, it just feels like dieting, losing a bit of body fat.
Yeah, and that's all going to be objective relative to composition. And Josh is in a really, really good spot. We're literally going through posing with him. It's good to see. He looks way better in person than he does on photos. We were saying Josh takes his photos from the floor in pretty mediocre lighting, so it's consistent against itself.
Yeah. If someone takes a photo of me, which a few people have in like the last week or two,
he looks alright.
Looks sounds. Space, I need a training partner.
Yeah, training partner, that's what he needs. Like
one that's more consistent than Ethan.
Yeah, so anybody who's in the local area to Josh, get Sam to put up your local area, times that you train.
Yeah, here's my postcode, here's where I train, here's when I train.
Please help him out. Help me out as well, coaching him, because it will give me actually good insight into how he's looking. But in general, he's in a really, really good spot. We were saying basically PCA untested, therefore we're going to be allowed to
We're the only natty on stage.
Yeah, we're going to be allowed to utilise supplements. So
we're allowed to, we're not going to though.
No, we're not going to, even though we are. So in this build-up right now, pretty much androns are building up. As a result of that, it's going to be skewing data. So body weight's kind of held, but then also at the same time, like we've got to realise that body weight, even though it's holding for a period of maybe 5 days, 6 days, 7 days,
it's coming down now.
Objectively, week to week, we are trending downwards, and we've pulled off a hell of a lot of weight. So the main goal right now, like we're literally going to have a check-in today, and I'm not going to make any changes and any tweaks. We're in a really, really good spot. If we can hold this sort of position, pull off maybe a good half kilo over the next 10 to 14 days, that'll be just driving the look further forward as we train well, as we're, let's say, as our androgen levels are being driven up. we're in that sort of sweet spot now where we can let that sort of drive the look forward, and then we can get more reassessment of where we are from a composition standpoint, because there's still body fat to come off. And this is one of those sort of things where you can easily just ride off, let's say, an androgen sort of, let's say androgens are going up, I'm going to look better. And yeah, but then at the same time, you're not going to be, you're not going to be stepping on stage. This is something I've said to Josh multiple times. You're not stepping on stage that's body weight. You're not going to be stepping on stage with the level of food you're at. No. So he will be doing more, he will be eating less. So it's a fine balancing act. But at the same time, if we can leverage greater amount of training performance in this current phase, it's not going to be a bad idea. No. So it's like, you want to be aggressive, you don't just want to hold body weight. It's something that I've made a mistake with in my first prep actually. I held body weight for like 6 weeks, and granted my prep was a bit longer than Josh, but it resulted in me having to be a bit more aggressive towards the latter end. And this is things we've learned in previous phases working together, which is, again, the benefits of working with somebody for a long amount of time. But we've got plenty of time, we'll have plenty of shows. Ideally, we enter that first timer show close to 100% for men's physique.
I want to be 100% for that one.
Yeah, because it's the first show. We're not going to be stepping on stage nowhere near 100%.
And it's not, even if it is, let's say it's 100%, it's only about 3-4 weeks to finals anyway.
Yeah. So we almost want that men's physique block to be nailed, and then we can just start to drop off fatigue, start to taper up food. That'd be wicked. And then it can kind of be a reassessment. Right, how do you feel? How are we from a health standpoint? Can we drop down and pull off a bit more weight relative to, let's say, showing our legs?
I've got 2 shows in mind just for classic and nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, one definitely for classic, one which is a bit after, but it's a mix of 2.
Yeah.
Which is pretty obvious if you know the show lineups, but.
And then that'll be pretty much just data. It'll be a case where we came into this year for Josh as men's physique, and like as the look's kind of been driven forward, it's like
team our fit coaches.
We just physique off. But either way,
like, copy everything that Reece does. Let's copy him.
Yeah, to a worse standard.
Yeah, just a way worse standard.
But to be fair, I was horrendous in men's physique this year, so just ignore that. He's going to be way better than me.
No, but next year I'll be fucking wank as well.
Yeah, true.
I'll get beaten by a skinny dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. So yeah, all in all, it's really good to go through some posing. Good to see Josh in person. That's pretty much that. And we're going to do some reels for Josh, so make sure to check out Josh's Instagram, because ideally Josh will be posting even more content with this. We'll get some photos, stuff like that. So yeah, as always guys, appreciate it. This isn't going to be the first time, it's not the first time, it's not going to be the last time that you see Josh before stage. No. It would be wicked. I'm not sure what Sam will be doing, but it'd be good to maybe book in maybe 1 or 2 more.
I reckon a weekend in the life of Josh Jenkins.
Be good. Invite me around. And that'd be good.
Like the 8th time I have already.
Yeah, so I seem to accept, but that would actually be quite a good thing. That would be a good video. Anyway, plenty of content. We're just going to ramble on. We're going to drop Sam off. We're going to have our post-workout meal. We're going to have a bit of a chat, go for a walk.
We have a shag.
Sam's training, so we don't need to drop him off.
You're not? Oh, Sam, crack on. Fuck off, Sam.
Sam's training.
Even better.
That's it.
Should we just go now?
Yeah, we're cool to go. Right, that's it, guys. Thanks as always. Subscribe, comment, like, all that jazz. Give Josh a follow. Thank you to Sam for travelling down. Thank you for Josh travelling up, and me travelling down as well, because it's like an hour and a half.
I've travelled the least, so I'm saying thank you to both of you.
Right, that's it. Josh hasn't been cancelled from this video, which is good. Hasn't said too much.
No, there's a few deleted scenes which could get me cancelled.
Right. See you later, guys.